Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Triple G versus Canelo 3 is going to be this Saturday. Now, there's a lot of people with different opinions on who they're picking on this fight. Right now, we know Canelo is an odds favorite. If you bet, I think it's what, $300 on Canelo, you win $100. You bet $100 on Triple G, you can win $300. So Canelo's the betting favorite going into this fight because he won the first two. Now the thing is this, doesn't matter who you think won, the first fight, the second fight, I think we can all agree that the victory, no matter who you felt won, wasn't a decisive victory. And as a result, it's good to see these two get back in the ring to try to solve and see who's actually the king of that division. But what some may be surprised to know, right, is a lot of people, okay, are picking Triple G to win this fight. Now, I'm not talking about the odds makers, okay? I'm talking about Roy Jones, some of these other boxing analysts, Malinaji, and just some of the other guys when they've done interviews and asked them who they're picking, right? They're picking Triple G. It has nothing to do with the Bivol loss, Canelo losing to Bivol. It has nothing to do with that. And their reason for saying that, and I tend to agree, is because when Triple G first fought Canelo, Triple G was undefeated. So they felt that Triple G was probably kind of cautious and really looking to protect his undefeated record. So they felt that when he got in there with Canelo, he didn't really let his hands go the way he should have. And maybe he was trying to just be super careful in the first fight and also in the second fight, try to be a bit more careful as well. But going into this fight now, with everything that's happened to Triple G, hey, look, Triple G is going to go in there, and he figured, hey, I have nothing to lose now. And he is definitely going to go in there and let his hands go. Because if Triple G, he's looking to retire, right? If he loses to Canelo based on the scorecards, which at this point in time, where Canelo is in his career, he's with Eddie Hearn. He's not with De La Hoya. So a lot of people were of the opinion that being with Golden Boy and then Las Vegas, or just having that influence, that there was some under the table type stuff going on, especially seeing the scorecards with that Adelaide Bird in the first fight. And the second fight felt like there was some under the table stuff going on for Canelo to get that win. When you look at especially that second fight, when you look at the punch stats, Triple G landed more. He threw more, landed more. But at the same time, Canelo clearly won 4 of those rounds in the second fight. But the rounds were very close. They were extremely close. So for Triple G, knowing what he went through those first 2 fights with the judges and the scorecards, you know, when you finish a fight, and I hear a lot of fighters say this, you want to feel like you left it all in the ring. And when they don't do that, you lose your right to complain. And you got to live with yourself. And you can't leave your mind behind. So Triple G's mind has been eating him up for quite a long time. Just knowing that he feels down in his heart, man, that he beat Canelo in both of those fights. Now, one thing we know going into this third fight, right, is Canelo has that evasive upper body movement, especially his slips and rolls. Now, they're both a little bit older, but Canelo still has that body movement. He has those slips and rolls. And watching him in the ring is a delight for all of us. With Triple G, he still has power. But Canelo, his style has changed a little bit. He was a bit swifter on his feet a few years ago. He's not necessarily a guy who's walking around with concrete blocks around his feet. okay? But he's not floating like a butterfly around the damn ring. Now, Bivol was floating like a butterfly. So Canelo is still a guy who's pretty much flat-footed and trying to walk you down. And because of his, like I said, the upper body movement, his slips and rolls and ability to counter, it's hard to hit him. At the same time, you start second-guessing, letting your hands go because he's hitting you with shots when you're trying to catch him. So with Triple G, Canelo still has a speed advantage, but Triple G's hand speed is not what it was. He never had super fast hands anyway. He's just very accurate and powerful. But based on his last fight, he looked slower. He's not quite looking his age, but he's looking slower. And the thing is, though, he's still very strong. He has stamina, strong chin, he has power. But going into this fight, Triple G is going to have to let his hands go. And one thing I see as a bit of I see two things, right? One is a problem, and one could be a plus for him. The plus is going in there just letting your hands go, make it a brawl. Triple G has a better chance of hurting Canelo than Canelo has of hurting Triple G if they get into just an all-out slugfest. Because Canelo can be hurt. Triple G can be hurt to the body, but if they're throwing headshots, hey, I think Triple G, that's the fight he wants. Mix it up, bang Canelo out. Easier said than done, but that's the fight I think that Triple G needs to fight. So that's the plus, is just letting your hands go. The downside for Triple G going into this fight, which is the second thing I want to talk about, is his coach is hoping that Triple G shows more than that he can just kind of walk Canelo down and throw power punches. He wants him now to get in there and show all of his boxing skills. What are we talking about here? Why at this point, this is the shit, right? You got a guy, Triple G, right? He's never been the guy dancing around the ring, throwing jabs. See, there's only one Miguel Cotto who can fight like Triple G. Feet planted, walk you down, cut off the ring, chop you up, break you down, get you out of there. But if he can't do that, on his tip of your toes, floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. Miguel Cotto could do it. Triple G is not that guy. So all of a sudden now, you got a coach who's putting him there with Canelo. Triple G is obviously slowed down a bit. He's at the end of his career. And you're not telling him, look, man, with intelligence now, but you need to be all gas, no brakes. You've got the engine. You've got the power. Don't go in there playing around, giving this man an opportunity. He's got the defense. He's got the speed. You could get yourself in trouble overthinking what you need to do with this new game plan, this new strategy. Listen, ever since Abel Sanchez left, Gennady Golovkin left Abel Sanchez, he looked horrible. What you're seeing with Triple G, slowing down and all that, that's not, I don't think we can attribute all that to age. I think that's a fact. He's with somebody who doesn't know what the hell to do with him. Abel Sanchez was the right man for Triple G style. And they butted heads on the money and all that when Triple G started making that zone money. As a result, he's gone somewhere else, and he's looked, to me, he's looked very vulnerable. At the same time, I still think the hungrier fighter is Triple G. A hungry fighter is a dangerous fighter. A hungry man is a dangerous man, like Bob Marley would say. But a hungry fighter is a dangerous fighter. And Canelo's coming in here with them. And this is the other thing we got to look at. Canelo is already looking past Triple G because they're trying to fight a third fight in December, preferably against Bivol. Canelo's making 40 to 60 million, I think like 40, 50, 60 million for this fight. Remember, he was on like a three-fight, what was it, like a three-fight deal for like $150 million or something with DAZN? And if you weren't aware, have you seen the pay-per-view price for this fight? Yo, they want like $84, man, or something like that. All that stuff that Eddie Hearn was talking about. All that stuff DAZN was talking about. Pay-per-view is dead, etc., etc. Now they come back with it, and I get it. They need to have a certain model in place to give these guys the purses that they want and what they're worth and valued at. And DAZN just can't pull out of their budget and give them that kind of money. Sure, there's a guarantee, but then it's all written the kind of way to say that the pay-per-view proceeds are going to help bridge that gap between what DAZN can guarantee to give them and then the rest is based on how much these guys make off the pay-per-view. And that is just, talk about a deal that was really, really sweet, looked really sweet on the surface, but now the direction it's going, it's not looking as sweet as it's not tasting as sweet as what it did when you initially. It's like the reverse of a Sour Patch Kid. First it's sour, then it's sweet. This is first it's sweet, then it's sour, you know, and it's just crazy. But I really think going into this fight, Triple G, as long as he can still keep that ramrod jab going, and he has a really good chance of disrupting anything Canelo's trying to do. But it's really going to boil down, in my opinion, to speed versus power. Because Triple G, like the Energizer Bunny, man, he's just a guy that's going to keep pressing forward. He's going to keep throwing jabs and hooks. And he still has the kind of power where he can floor any boxer. Canelo's very durable, very elusive. But if he catches Canelo, he can put him down, man. And at the same time, Canelo, you look at what he did in those other fights. You know, he's not a guy who's been stopped. So how do you come now? Neither one have been stopped. How do you stop Canelo? How do you stop Triple G? You know, so when people are saying Canelo's going to stop Triple G, or, you know, Triple G's going to stop Canelo, look, that's easier said than done, man. But in the third fight, at least we'll get 12 rounds of high-class boxing and anticipation to see, you know, who can actually prevail. Because at the end of the day, I think everyone needs closure. Like the Pacquiao Marquez, all those fights, there were a lot of people who just didn't get closure until Marquez knocked him out cold. Like that's what we're gonna need here. You're gonna need some closure. You know, there needs to be something. Let's just face it, man. You know, as great as Canelo, Triple G 1 and 2 were, like I said, man, neither one of them were able to decisively beat the other. You had the aggressor versus the counterpuncher, and you had to say Canelo's a bit more accurate, but Triple G threw more punches, and that's just a fact. And the second fight, Canelo was the aggressor, and that did not think that worked to his advantage. But hey, it looked good to the judges, and he won the fight, although he landed less punches. But it is what it is. But we'll see what's gonna go, man. I think just these rounds are just too close, have been too close to call. So even after the two excellent fights, it's still, you know, we can't answer the questions. You know, who is the undisputed king in the middleweight division? Like you could say Canelo, but really not the majority doesn't agree with that, because Triple G is still out there. They need to fight to resolve all that and clear things up, and that's why I think once we had his third fight and they settled a score for all, I think he's going to be good for boxing and everything else. Triple G is getting older. This may be this is his opportunity while he still has something left to try to get in there and bang against Canelo. You're talking about Triple G 5'10", Canelo 5'8", 5'9". Triple G's reach 74 inches. Canelo's reach 71 inches. You know, they're talking about fights. Canelo's had almost, you know, like 14 more than Triple G. They both won a lot of fights. They both have a lot of KOs. 39 fights for Golovkin, 33 KOs. Canelo's like, you know, 52 fights. He had 49 wins. You got 34, 35 KOs. So it's up there, man. So KO percentage, 89% for Triple G, 67% for Canelo. So despite the fact that Triple G's up there in age, I just think he has a lot left in him. And, you know, he's noticeably slower than he used to be, but he's still got those powerful punches to stun anyone, especially if he catches you clean. And he's in phenomenal shape and has cardio for days. So we'll see what happens, man. Triple G can't be reluctant to throw body shots, because we know Canelo will counter him. But he's going to have to figure it out, because what we do know is Canelo's going to throw shots to Triple G's body. He's going to do that, because Triple G showed in his last fight that he didn't like that. Early in the fight, he almost quit. But it is what it is. With that being said, man, y'all like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Leave your 2 cents below about who you think's going to win. I think this is speed, Canelo, power, Triple G. And I really feel Triple G has nothing to lose. He's on his way out. He's getting a handsome payday. And he's just going to go balls to the wall and try to put it on Canelo. And I think if Triple G can get behind his jab and come behind that jab, cut the ring off, and let his power shots go, and not be too worried about Canelo's counter-punching ability, it's easier said than done. I think Triple G wins. But if he comes in there not having the confidence, overthinking, his combinations aren't flowing, smoothly like they used to be when he was with Abel Sanchez, Canelo has a good opportunity to redeem himself after that Bivol loss by clipping Triple G. But I just don't think that's the case. I just don't. I think it's going to be a Triple G win. I'm going to pick Triple G. I really am. I really am. I think Triple G is going to beat him this time. I think Canelo just... Eddie Hearn is forcing people into these fights that they really shouldn't be putting them into, in my opinion, but he's got to make some money back. I'm telling you, man, pay attention. But anyway, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, man. Shout out to the veterans. I'm going with Triple G. Y'all keep cool, and I'm in the breeze.